Ben? You all right, buddy? Where you like to come see at Winty's?
All the cool people go. Okay, sounds good. I think it's on now.
I thought I heard it.
Yeah, I think it's on now.
Hey guys, welcome into the show before the show. Hi, Bendy, Karen, Todd, Mitch, Lizzie. Thanks, guys, for sharing. Hey guys, welcome into the show before the show.
Terry remind us that today is Happy Women's Veterans Day.
Oh, nice.
And she is one of those lovely women veterans.
Megan, we're quiet today because I always have to do the talking in the pre-show. Lizzie's this is what I see Lizzie do all show.
I know. That's right. And what I'm doing in the pre-show when I'm being quiet is I'm going to every single platform.
She's amazing.
And making sure everything's fine. Joe can do that too, but making sure the chat part of it's fine.
I'm still catching up on the show.
Yeah.
I apologize.
You know what? Here's somebody's name I've never seen. A Sweetie Brookahire.
Good morning, y'all.
Brookshire. Is that Brookshire? Brookahire.
Yeah.
So we have a Sweetie with us today.
Yeah, girl can juggle. She can. I needed to catch back up. It's been a while. I used to be a daily communicant where I go to mass every morning, every single day. Every single day.
You went to mass every single day?
Yeah. When I was in Detroit. So I went this morning with Megan.
Very
because I hadn't done
nice.
it in a while, so I was a little behind.
Did you go to ICD?
Yeah, I did.
Very great parish. Did you go to their church picnic?
No.
It was a couple weeks. Was it just last weekend, maybe? Just last weekend. So
No, I need it. I'm just going to tell you, Lizzie, anybody that's around me knows there's, and
you
it's
need
not
to
just,
go to mass.
well, no, I can't tell you. It's the more you lean into God, the more you will be attacked. It just,
100%.
it's the more you just live lukewarm and stay
Yes.
not to get, it happens.
It's the truth.
And then if you want to, then it's like you have to put on your full armor.
Yes.
Yes, I'm here. True name. Hi, sweetie. Thank you.
I love that.
Those chairs look comfy. Yeah. Oh,
Thank you, Joe.
Joe is, as I say, a badass when it comes to trying to put this stuff together. It looks great. We got a show here Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central. This is the show before the show. Vic Faust, Lizzie Sparks, Pro Joe in the house. Let's see. So anyway, I was still going through some things. I was a little bit behind. Yeah, guys, good morning. True, I hear you, Terry. Good morning to Sweetie and Anthony. Love you guys. Rock and roll. You guys have stories, let us know as we get going today with everything that's going on.
Surprised Anthony didn't say good morning, heathens. I think he's talking to you, Vic. But
you hate it? No, that's his
that's
calling
his
card.
thing. It is. But I think it's specifically to you. And the reason why he didn't do it is you got your Jesus on this morning, so he couldn't call you a heathen.
No, we're all heathens.
Isn't
Just
that
trying
the truth?
not to be.
That's right. We were born heathens. Please share the show, everyone. And I try to say a lot of times afterwards, I see people did share it and I try to thank them.
Oh, thank you for doing that.
Yes, and I try to go after the fact and thank people who shared, but some days there's so many I can't get to them, or there's other days
How dare you?
it doesn't always show up. Like it doesn't show up. I didn't see it, but that's a good thing. Other people do it. It's more important that other people see it than I see it, because I'm already here. But you have some friends that need to hear the truth. Thank you, Mitch. He says you all know that the show is 10 times better than any antenna TV.
We know.
Thank you.
Not being arrogant. We appreciate it.
I think it's great. Thank you for telling us.
We just want to bring truth out.
Megan wants to know, do you think Joe and Hunter went to church this morning?
Megan, if you can look at me on the TV, I'll say this. My answer is no.
Noah. That is so funny. No, he did not go.
My my Hunter.
Doing your Hunter. Mitch is saying Jesus is the lifeboat. Yes, that is. Thank God for Jesus. I don't know how people get through life, because there's so many times I'm like, I don't know what to do next. Lord, I don't know what to do next. And I just have to hand it to him. And there's like monkey comes off my back. Not necessarily because it solved the problem, but I can't do everything.
Oh, yeah. Hey, guys, thanks for liking, subscribing, sharing the show all over the place as we get things going.
Terry saying maybe they went to check Hunter's cell out. I'm thinking Hunter's not going in a cell, but that's just me. You know what? The music's even now sounding. Hear that? That is Hunter Biden going. Mhm.
Oh, that's good. Wow.
That was
Hunter sniffing some lines.
yes, it is.
Sniffing them with Joe.
That's right.
Very interesting. I saw this morning too. Research confirms that a child that I don't know. Research confirms that a child ideally sleeps with the parents until age 7 because their mirror neurons are the most sensitive during this period.
That's interesting.
So your child learns subconsciously
I don't know.
and learns and sees best when close to their mother, for example, by regulating heartbeat, body temperature,
Yeah,
all things, cortisol level. I mean, very interesting.
that is good. And you do hear that. Yeah. And you know, a lot of people are always like, should I have my kids?
Hell no.
Should I not? We didn't have our
Hell no.
We didn't.
Joe, can I see the one shot since you were doing all kinds of homework last night? Hi. Oh, look at Lizzie's. And then, oh, nice. And then our 2 shot. Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Joe, did you get some of that Hunter crack last night?
I did not.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, today's the second day without coffee.
Oh, why would you do that?
I asked him the same thing.
I think it's just really bad for you, especially the way that we drink it.
Jill says she has 2 littles that support that stat. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're like super mom, Jill.
Absolutely. And I don't see anything wrong that people have their kids sleep with them. My husband was just like, they're not sleeping in
Oh,
here.
shoot. I forgot that.
They're so not sleeping in here. But if my kids had a nightmare or whatever, they can come in there. I like cuddling with them.
Suck it up.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Tell me in the morning. So what's today's show? 394?
Yes. So I'm thinking, Joe and I talked about this before the show. Next Thursday is exactly 400, but like we did at 300, we can celebrate it on Friday for 2 reasons. One, that will be Joe's 300th because he was with us a
Oh, yeah.
100 in, and Eric will be here.
Oh, hey, by the way, look at the chat line. Jill says she's been drinking an organic mushroom blend coffee that she likes. So there you go.
Mushroom blend. To me, I love Jill a whole lot, but I'm sorry, Jill, that kind of sounds disgusting.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like it tastes like coffee.
No.
Brenda, my hair looks different this week because I got a cut.
Yeah, he did get a cut. I told him I really like
And it's
his
probably
hair
getting
like this.
whiter.
You know what? Most women love gray-haired men, but we don't like it in ourselves. Although some people, I don't know, somebody sent me a picture what I would look like if my hair went totally gray, and it really wasn't half bad.
Tanya says her kids slept with her until they were age 6. So there you go.
A lot of people do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Jay says everything is bad for you. Might as well pick something you like.
Well, there's a lot of things that, like he said, everything's bad for you. So that's just one of the things that I cut just to replace it with something good.
Yeah.
All right, Joe, we can go ahead and kickstart the show. We're behind anyway. There we go. I think I'm finally caught up. guys, welcome to Cancel. There we are. I didn't know where we were going to be today.
There you are. Well, it's Trump.
I love all the
looking at
cameras
you.
on, and I'm like, where am I going today?
Mhm.
All right, it's our one shot. We love you guys being here. When we get to be this really big, powerful show,
Mhm.
I'm going to buy some paint, some gray paint. There may be some here around the facilities, and I'm going to paint the hole in the wall that Eric rubbed with his foot. The hole in the wall
We probably
behind
should
me.
show people.
Well, no, I mean, I'm going to.
Tell them.
Can you take me on a one shot again, Joe? Welcome to canceltheshow.com. So Joe's going to take me on a one shot. Okay, you see the flowers that are right over here?
Mhm.
Those flowers, which by the way, Megan made.
They look great. Yeah.
Megan made those flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Joe's like, well, damn, we don't have anything else to cover up. There's a hole back there.
Yeah, we call it Eric's big hole.
Because
Eric's big hole.
When we had the standing tables,
Big
Eric
hole.
loved to stand against the wall with his foot against the wall, like the back of his foot,
Yeah.
and he'd lean back. So, and it would be the same spot. So he rubbed a big old Eric hole in the wall.
He did. There's an Eric hole.
Of our really, really nice, beautiful studio.
Yeah. He couldn't help himself because he gets all animated and then his foot goes flying. And I think that's why you put us in chairs. I think that's why, because we don't behave when we stand
So
up.
those flowers are covering a hole. Once again,
Mhm.
hey, like me,
Yeah.
the show, like my life. I mean, we just put it all out there.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, we're not trying to act like we're cool or anything else.
We got some stuff. We got some issues around here.
We had become the #1 most downloaded news talk show throughout the St. Louis metro area, so we're grateful for that.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, we'll pull wires where we can, and
Yeah.
I think I found a wire hanging out in the parking lot the other day. I gave it to Joe. Can you use this? Joe rigged it up, and there you go.
There you go.
And
Mhm.
We'll use anything around here.
We can.
Somehow, some way.
That's right.
Somehow, some way, the show that could. We just make it through. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on X, Rumble, Cloud Hub. We're here Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, and all the time on our website, cancelthisshow.com. Gary says, fix your hole.
Fix your hole.
Yeah, we need some gray paint to do that.
That's right.
So
Please fix your hole.
Eric needs to come fix his big ugly hole.
Yeah.
it's really not a hole. I don't even
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
if
It's just
we-
rubbing the top layer of the paint
We
off,
might
really.
just need gray paint over it, right?
Correct. Several layers of it, though, because I think whoever painted these walls did such a badass job that there's lots of layers, and he
No, it was
scraped
K-build.
all the layers.
K-build.
K-build.
I think we're
Okay.
going to need some putty because I think
Yeah.
he dug in a little bit.
Yeah, he did. Mhm. Yeah. You can't blame this on K-build. It was Eric. What? Mhm.
So anyway, thanks for jumping in. Okay, we'll get things going here. Vic Faust, Lizzie Sparks, Pro Joe in the house. We're here. Cancel this show Monday through Friday. News headlines, political interviews, cancel culture stories, education, you name it. It's what we do. We're here for you. You're here for us. Join our people's platform. You can do that. X blows up for us. I mean,
Right.
it does. Almost
just
200
does.
live listeners at least every single day. But the chat seems to be with most of the Facebook people. We love it when you jump in, do what you want to do. Check out all the sites, pop in here, go there. Whatever the case is, we appreciate it when you guys send us story ideas. We do what we can there as well. Okay, it is Wednesday. Happy Hump Day, June 12th. We're ready to get things going. I wanted to start with the Hunter Biden stuff today, only because I keep saying I told you so. I told you we're going to find him guilty.
Mhm.
He's not going to do jail time. Maybe a day, maybe 2 days or something. And then it didn't take long for left-leaning liberal media. Well, you see, the justice system is fair. Donald Trump and Hunter, but it was a setup. And I find it conveniently interesting that the trial was right there starting the day after Trump's situation happened.
That's right.
So that they could say, see, look at Joe Biden. He said that he
Mhm.
would not pardon his son. Give me a break. It's all a freaking setup. It's what it's been. It's what it's going to be. And don't think for a second that evil will change. Evil will never change. The only thing that changes is how you look at it and how you approach it, how you handle things, knowing that you and our country and anything good will be attacked. Yes, I am comparing liberal policies with being evil. I am comparing the left with going after Donald Trump as they do as a evil practice.
That's
There is
right.
absolutely no doubt about it. Hunter Biden Yeah, he was guilty. And you know why it came back so quick? Because it was so obvious. But this isn't even his biggest crime.
No, it's really small, one of his smaller crimes. We didn't even dig into what the bigger issues
For
were.
gun charges, 3 of them, I don't know what, $750,000 fine. He's
Yeah.
up to 25 years possible in jail. Bullshit.
Bullshit.
He's not doing 25 years in jail. Give me a break. It's all the media hype to try to make Joe Biden look better
Mhm.
because Joe Biden is an idiot. We're going to get into that later. Tucker Carlson has an amazing video on Donald Trump. I mean, amazing video. If you don't think politicians are stuffing ballot boxes or cheating, just look at the video that we're going to show you from Connecticut. Biden had more false claims yesterday. The guy, he is out of control. He is a runaway train.
Yeah, he is.
Now, he's more or less that runaway train that's moving at like 2 miles per hour, but it's still unhinged. It's still not on the right track, and it's still going down a direction it shouldn't be because he is bad.
Bad.
And then we also have ISIS members being caught all over the country, or at least we know of 6 of them. If there's 6 here, there's probably 600. Let's just put it that way. First-time offenders don't do jail, usually coming from Jay. As they said, not one Democrat said it was a Mickey Mouse court. It was truly a setup. It was all staged. It was from the get-go. It's really, 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 really bad. Hunter Biden, as Elon Musk said after the verdict, he said this isn't even his biggest crime.
That's right.
It's all the bribes. It's the sound that we have him on calls and text talking about the big guy saying, hey, we need to get this done or else. These are the real true Biden crimes. The laptop is real. They wanted this case over as quickly as possible because it makes Biden, his dad, look even worse.
That's right. It was over really fast for a reason, just so it could come and go and then get right out of the news.
If the info is coming from the laptop, it's been entered into the congressional record. That is true. The laptop needs to be used against the big man. This effing show is killing me. In which regard?
Well, I don't know if
the
he's
shit
talking.
show.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's talking about us, if our show is killing him, or just the whole Biden shit show is killing him.
Susan says nothing will happen to Hunter. This is just one up from Trump. Of course, a little play on the NRA and
That's
Second
right.
Amendment. Of course it is. And like I said, first-time offenders don't do jail, and it's not going to change. And whatever, it is what it is. We deal with it. Hopefully, Hunter Biden can go away somewhere else. Maybe he'll sniff himself into oblivion somewhere, and we won't have to hear about him. That may sound very mean. I don't care. I'm tired of Hunter Biden. He put this country at risk. He put your life, my life, everybody's life at risk with what he has been doing with the payoffs, the bribes that the left won't talk about because the left has lost their mind.
Well, and don't you think, Vic, he's going to pardon his son if he has the ability? You don't think he's going to?
No, because he already said he wouldn't.
Well, give me a break with that, Vic. He lies.
No,
so
I know he lies, and we're gonna. Oh yeah, we're gonna show you Joe Biden lying again today. No, he won't. But he's not going to have to because it's all set up. People, it's all set up.
Yeah. That's true.
I do feel sorry for liberals. I do. I feel sorry for them because they've lost their mind. Number one. Number two,
they have.
They're it's either pride, they've lost their mind, or they're just uneducated and they don't want to learn the truth. The best thing you can do is listen to everybody. Use your ears first, then your tongue. Use your ears, then your tongue. The man has hurt America, Hunter Biden. He lied. His dad lied about him. Joe Biden was caught on tape lying about him. We showed you the sound. You heard it, the voicemail message.
Yeah.
From 2018. Once again, mainstream media won't cover it. We wish we could be in every house, every morning, everywhere we need to be. That's what we say. Hey, thank you for supporting us, advertisers, whatever you want to do, continue to do that. The guy that we had to ban from the show, and then I blocked him from Twitter yesterday.
Oh, you did? Was he saying mean things on Twitter?
No, just he jumped in because he can't get away from us.
Yeah.
But we had to ban him because he was promoting murder.
Yeah.
And so anyway, you guys know who he is. Anyway, so he started to show up on X because I won't block him on Facebook Messenger. I just don't listen. I don't open his messages.
Right.
It drives him crazy. He messages me every day because he's like a lot of the Democrats. They're freaking liberal loonies.
Yeah.
They don't know how to have an honest conversation where we can get everybody's point and bring it in and actually talk policy. We got to talk policy. That's what we do. That's what we're going to do. So when you do these things, you have to bring it to attention. So I blocked him because he was jumping on yeah, you're a right-wing MAGA moron
Oh,
now.
stop it.
You know, because as we continue to get on
Mhm.
an X and as we become more popular, more people are hearing about us. So left-leaning liberals are losing their mind over our show, which is exactly how we want it. So if you hear people or see people try to rip us, go let them know. Say, hey, no, this show is good. And this
Mhm.
is why we like it. Maybe you should check this out
That's right.
on
'Cause
X,
that's right.
because that's where we're starting to see a lot of that happen.
Well, the only people so far that is really ripping us is really the left wing loonies. They're the only ones doing it because we're telling the truth. And a lot of other shows tell the truth too, but we call out with facts and even call out people that some people don't suspect we're going to call out. And it's because that's what we have to do here is you don't know where to go to get the full facts. And there's some people that are regulated by corporations. So there's some shows that can only go so far because they're advertisers or their radio station or their corporate news says, okay, you can only go up to this line. The only line we can go up to is there isn't one. We can go as far as it is as long as it's the truth. If it's not the truth, then we're going to say it's our opinion. Okay, this is our opinion. But if not, and I said this yesterday, if we're going to tell a story here on Cancel This, Vic has always said we need to see proof of it. We need to see your sources. And typically you better come up with about three sources.
It's harder. It's just more difficult.
It is more difficult.
But I just get tired of all the bullshit that's out there where you hear
Mhm.
things and it's not true. And then a day later, oh, that wasn't true.
That wasn't true, even though you said it as it was fact. And that happens a lot. People say a lot of things that are fact. So I don't know. I don't know. It's just when you see I'm not even really that interested in this past thing with Hunter Biden because it wasn't the good stuff. And what I mean the good stuff, that was actually a bad choice of words. There's a bunch of I mean there's a bunch of bad stuff.
Hunter's had a lot of good stuff over the years, and it's not just him, it's what he did. I could care less. I could care less what he did with his drugs and his sex. And and if there were young girls, that's a whole nother deal.
Yep, that's the part I have a problem with.
I could care less what he was doing. My whole situation is the fact that the Biden crime syndicate was going down up until October 7th. I say it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We were getting to the bottom of things.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden October 7th happened because we were starting to see everything that was going on. And then whatever James Comer in the House, they stopped.
Yeah.
They just stopped all of a sudden. There's so much evidence against Joe Biden, his brother, Hunter. That's what people should be worried about.
Mm-hmm.
But Americans get led astray. Not people who watch this show, but there are Americans who do. And then, of course, there's a lot of people 35, maybe 40 and above who still watch sometimes local news or national news. And you shouldn't be watching either one. Maybe if there's a tornado, maybe, mm-hmm. But you get everything else, what you need all over the place. Anyway, drugs and guns are just the iceberg tip, selling the country and taking taxes, laundering money. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
These are the major issues that are going on all over the place when it comes to the Bidens. I'm tired of it. So that's why I say I could care less if Hunter goes and sniffs himself into oblivion.
Right. Me too.
You're talking about a very evil man that
right.
Joe Biden raised. And I mean, just all of the nastiness and getting his brother. I mean, he was having sex with it when his brother was with his brother's wife when he was still alive.
Yeah, that's so gross.
And getting her hooked on the stuff.
That's
I mean,
gross.
I know people. I know women that got hooked on drugs and then they're attached to these nasty guys and then they need their drugs. And then they'll go back for the drug. It's just nastiness.
Yeah,
just
it is nastiness.
Just ugh, the whole thing is just gross.
Mm-hmm.
All of that just drugs, sleazy sex, Hunter Biden, Joe Biden backing it. And then, of course, we won't even get into Joe Biden and what we've talked about with Jill and her cheating on her husband. Her first husband's been very public about all of this stuff. And Joe cheating on his wife. And then his wife goes out and has an accident. And all the rumors were the fact that she was losing her mind because if you feel you're being cheated on,
yeah, you would lose your mind.
Yeah. And then she was driving erratic and had an accident and died. All of the
their daughter died. I think Naomi died too.
The Biden family is a nightmare, nastiness, big black eye on this country that we can't get away from quick enough. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. It was selected. It was planned. It was put in place after we had the greatest 4 years in modern history.
That's right.
Just think of all the things coming from Paul that are on the laptop that they allowed this trial for the gun charges to happen. They also allowed the verdict for a reason because they wanted to bypass everything
Mhm.
else that was on the laptop.
That's right.
Always think you're shown one thing, but always know that there's a door number 2. There is.
Correct.
And you're not a conspiracy theorist for saying that.
No.
You're not a conspiracy theorist for wanting to know that. You're not a conspiracy theorist for saying, well, really? Well, let's see everything. Susan says, the sins of the father.
The sins of the father. Well said.
You may have one child that goes astray for a while, but I'm telling you, science, studies, everything shows when parents were raising their kids, you may get one, but you're not going to get multiple kids doing all of this crazy stuff. You're just not. Not if you're doing things in a right. I'm sorry. I've seen it. I'm a parent. I know.
That's right. If all your kids, okay, you
may get one, and then eventually they'll come back around.
That's right. They'll come back around, or even
but
if
you don't have
5
multiple
kids,
doing all unless some crazy ass shit was going on and you're promoting it.
That's right. And they're screaming
or you weren't
for attention.
there, or you weren't there truly for your kids.
That's right.
And it'll get parents. It will. It'll get them.
It'll get you.
I know a guy who is a multi-millionaire, and he is depressed because one son overdosed, killed himself. Another son is addicted on drugs, and his daughter won't talk to him.
And you wonder why that is.
And he was a user.
Because he himself was doing drugs.
Yes.
Yep. That's
100%.
That's right.
Jerry says, yep, he was doing Bo's wife and daughter and Obama's daughter as well. Pictures on his laptop. I've seen that. I saw the pictures as well too.
Yep. I have too. I've seen those pictures, and it's very incriminating and nasty what he was doing to people. And Obama should be ashamed of himself that he isn't also going after Hunter, but he's just really quiet right now, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they're plotting and planning what has to happen with this election coming up.
Correct. That's exactly what's going on. And it's a shame. And, you know, if there's one thing that we have to protect in this world is our children. And it's sad that this crime syndicate is the ones hurting children. They're not even trying to protect them. They're outwardly hurting children. It's disgusting, Vic. Disgusting.
Jamie says it's exactly what happened to my ex-husband's family. So here's the thing. This has all been planned. We don't want anybody to lose sight of the scorecard of what's been going on. This whole thing had everything to do with Donald Trump's trial, how it was planned. Remember, I said the first day after we're starting up the Hunter Biden trial. Oh,
well,
it's just like TV executives bringing the sitcoms to television. We'll go from here to there. Skip says libs have no shame. They don't. They really don't. Joe is going to be medically tapped out. Megan says the debate will say it all. It will determine their next move.
That's right.
I don't know. I'm still not sold on this whole freaking debate thing.
Yeah.
I think Joe will be fine. I think he's going to be fine in the debate. I do, because it's structured and set up for him to do well, or at least not to look bad, or at least to meet his low standard of acceptability, which he has done the thing that he's done a tremendous job of is setting his bar low.
Yes. That's exactly right.
Very low.
Well, and they have the parameters, like you said, that you have to be cut off at a certain time. And we played the clip that Joe Biden was bragging about that on The View, that is going to be set up basically for Joe. So, you know, I agree with you. If they keep it relatively short and he's really Adderalled up, and they usher him in and usher him out, and Trump is, you know, his sound is off, that sort of thing, he is going to be able to do it, I think. But it's only because, like you just said, Vic, the standard is so low. If he just doesn't lie and he doesn't stammer and stutter and look the wrong way going off the stage, it'll be a win for them. Even if Trump killed it, as long as Biden does that minimum standard, they're going to say Biden wins.
He's going to have the questions in advance. It's all going to be pre-done. He can't go back and forth. He just can't.
No.
He can't go back and forth. Tiny says he'll be on cocaine. I don't know if it'll be a cocaine. It'll be something. He won't know what he's taking. That's for sure.
Yeah, he doesn't know what he's taking, but it could be cocaine.
Troy says, sorry, Vic, Biden could F up a wet dream. Yeah, he would mess up anything and everything.
Oh, for sure.
What he does.
For sure. And I agree with Troy on that. When we look at, if you look at it and you don't know either of these two men, you don't know Trump and you don't know Biden. Now, I don't know who that person would be. People will go, oh my gosh, that Donald Trump is killing it. He's great. Who's that feeble little man that can barely talk and he's not telling the truth. That's what a person that is looking at it with no previous opinion on either one of these two. But almost everybody that's going to watch has a previous opinion, and all the left, just if he doesn't fall off the stage, is going to think he did fine. And that's not what's going to happen. So I'm looking forward to watching it, but I don't know that we're going to have what we think we're going to have that day.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not all that excited about it. I'm really not. The other thing about it is I saw George Stephanopoulos and all of his liberal blah throw up, and how he has become very abusive in his interviews. He really he didn't used to be that way, but he's become very, very, very abusive. He's turned up the pressure. He's not a true journalist. He's not. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He doesn't do good work.
No.
I would love to debate George Stephanopoulos and educate him on a few topics and educate him on truth and teach him a thing or two, because he takes his talking points. He does. And he doesn't look at truth. And it's a shame. And he's had his foot in his mouth many times on live TV, which is a very sad, sad situation. But listen to what he's trying to say. He thinks the number one question should be, and I'm curious what everybody thinks about this, and maybe it should be, is who won the 2020 election? That's what he has come out publicly and said. That should be the number one question. What do you guys think about that? Who won the election in 2020?
Well, I think we know who won the election. I think we absolutely know who won the election. And anyone that said anything else, look what they did to Rudy Giuliani. He has proof of it. He has said that, and they tried to ruin him. So we all know who won the election, and not by a little bit. And they think we're stupid. They think like, oh, yeah, we miscalculated that. I don't know. Maybe Trump should have done this or he should have done that. Nobody voted for Joe Biden. They really didn't, not in the magnitude as they said. Now, that being said, the few that did, they're now going, I voted wrong. I really did. I need to now vote for the man that's going to lower my taxes and is going to get my grocery prices manageable again.
From the chat line, Pam says Trump. Roland says all setups. Trump 20 by landslide. Yeah, probably. I don't think the commander in soiled briefs won.
No. And that is a setup question, because that is something that they could possibly ask the night of the debate, trying to set up and make him again a J6er, liar, conspiracy theorist, that he didn't really win. You don't have any proof of that. So if they ask that question, it's just a setup question.
So that debate will be coming up. That's what George wants to do. First question. That's what he says that what should happen. And I'm like, yeah, not surprised that this would be happening. Okay, fantastic. Great. And of course, Jerry just says, go watch 2000 Mules.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't that be great if Trump watched that, if he hasn't already, and quoted that?
Yeah.
And talked about that. People love the commander in soiled briefs.
That's right.
Joe will be glad to say, well, of course I won. Of course I won, because that's what Joe Biden does.
That's right.
He's a liar. This is canceltheshow.com. I'm Vic Faust, Lizzie Sparks, Pro Joe in the house as well. So it is what it is. I'm not getting all excited because Hunter Biden was found guilty, because I thought it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Everything is set up, and it will continue to be set up for the rest of our life in this country. It will. Everything, there's a constant attack. Just get used to it. Some people don't deal with it. They want to just stick their head down. Okay, I don't want to deal with it. I need to get away. I understand.
I understand doing that from time to time, because it's just sometimes on the weekend, I will take a whole day. I don't do it the whole weekend. I'm just too intrigued with everything going on. But sometimes you need to take a whole day, and that you don't have any of your social media on, and you don't even listen to any of it, because so much coming out is garbage.
Oh, it is. It's garbage. A lot of it is. But we have to deal with Joe Biden and everybody else that's going on.
Yeah, we do. The commander in soiled briefs.
Yeah. Well, Samuel Jackson had something to say as we wait for the final 6 months of the presidency to end, of this disaster in this country. And it made me laugh, because I'm like, yeah, this is, I think this is how people feel when it comes to what's happening with Joe Biden as we get through these final days.
Yo, you about done? Tick-tock, motherfucker.
Tick-tock, mother chucker.
That's exactly what a lot of people are saying. They want to honk their horns and go, you done? When you getting the hell out of here? You done?
Get the hell out of here.
Yes, get the hell out of here.
Well, Pam says, let's get Hunter and the family on more charges like treason. It's not going to happen.
Yeah,
right
I
now.
wish
It's
it would
just
happen. They're not going to do it.
We're not going to get the evidence put forward. It's just.
I
not
wish they
going to
would,
happen.
though.
Well, of course we do, but we know it's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
You know, chat line, me and I have decided that I can't have a grown-up conversation with anyone that says Biden is fit for office. There's no argument. I'm not interested in talking to crazy. You
Yeah.
can't.
You can't talk to crazy. You can't
talk, and you can't reason with crazy.
No, because you try to. I really do. One of our listeners last night contacted me and said, how come you take time to listen to the liberals? And I said, the only reason I don't listen to them to think that I can make any impact on their mind and change their mind. I listen to figure out the psyche of why they think that. And I still can't, I can't put it in my brain why they think that. So they truly just have to be brainwashed or prideful that they just have always voted Democrat. So they're going to vote Democrat. There's nothing that you can say. And they have the TV turned off. They either have it totally turned off or they just flip it on CNN. Because if you look at any other source with an open mind, you would not be voting for Joe Biden. You don't have an open mind if you're voting for Joe Biden. You don't. There's no way.
Oh my God, as I look at some things that are going on. Oh my God. Anyway, yeah, some of the stories that I see coming down right now, it's blowing my mind. But
yeah.
We'll get into this. I'll get back. I'm sorry. So the Hunter Biden situation has now ended. We'll find out about sentencing. That's going to come up if there is any sentencing and what kind of fee or fine, because we already know the money's not an issue. It's not an issue for the Biden family.
Correct.
It's all going to be taken care of.
That's right. $750,000 would ruin somebody else. But then, like Projo was saying before the show, they'll just get some more of our government money and pay it to his coffers or find out whatever book deal they did. And they'll just write a check for $750,000.
Or his artwork.
Oh, yeah.
His wonderful artwork, right?
Yeah. Wouldn't you pay $1 million?
So good.
Would you put one of those in your house?
Oh, sure.
I would too. I would put it right above my mantle so that everyone can see.
Crack art.
Crack art. That's right. Crack art. Come in and look at my house that has crack art by Hunter Biden.
That's funny. No, that's some funny stuff.
It really is.
Jerry says Schumer last week had mentioned wet work, which is a big fear. They know tides are turning against them. All lies are being exposed, and the normies are finally waking up. Well, we certainly hope so. And that's what our whole mission was, to start this, to make sure that news and ideas and information got out, because for so long, local national media stopped it. Yeah, Terry, I was thinking dartboard myself.
That's right.
There might be some other things there. And it's just remember, you have to remember once again who Hunter Biden is. Some will try to say, oh, but Hunter Biden is, he's a good man. He's a Yale educated lawyer who's accomplished more in his life. And he's such a good man. Just remember who Hunter Biden was, as we said earlier on the show, and is the son of Joe Biden. And I could care less about Hunter, but I'm just going to tell you who he is. But he is associated with his dad, and he did broker deals that put America at risk. And that is a serious, serious crime.
That's right.
He's a drug addict. You know, he had to get brand new teeth because he rotted them out with all the drugs and meth he was taking and everything else.
Yeah, he rotted his teeth out.
Just the drugs. Yeah, he rotted them just right out. This is what I mean. People who do drugs that are just, I mean, it's tough. And if anybody's had family members, friends, it's tough. You get addicted to that stuff. It's bad.
That's right.
It's bad. And I feel bad for people that want to come out of that.
Yeah, I do too. I feel bad because it's happening now more than ever because of our border being right over and fentanyl flowing through.
That as well. But this man who has had serious white privilege, drug addict, rotted out his teeth, knocked up a stripper, refuses to accept the daughter. His dad, the president, refuses to accept the granddaughter. Then he went and screwed his brother's wife while his brother was still alive, dying from brain cancer. Yeah, just put this in perspective. And then he got his brother's wife, will be considered hooked on drugs. All of this stuff is bad. And then if he's some good attorney, he'd know that crack is illegal. He's still doing it. Yeah, there's nothing good about the man. Okay, there's not. And then he's associated with his dad. Sad.
Mhm.
What link are you talking about, Pro Joe? I just saw your message.
The breaking news. It's a different one of the same topic, I believe.
Of which topic?
The DOJ.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh, the Simon.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
You sent one too, the same thing.
Yeah.
You don't. What do you mean you don't?
Breaking. I didn't know it was something from the DOJ.
I don't know that it's
I
breaking.
got confused with the
Well,
DOJ.
it said breaking news on the post.
Yeah.
So, I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's interesting to play it.
What is the story?
It's Simon Atiba. It's the show. Simon Atiba saying Democrat Congressman Jerry Nadler from New York sensationally claims the DOJ is withholding Biden's interview auto recording with special counsel Robert Hur because they have good reason to believe that the Republican leadership on the Judiciary Committee would alter the transcript and is triggering a review from Republicans.
No, I didn't send you that. That was a completely different story.
Okay, I got what you sent and what you sent.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anything, lie, accuse. It is interesting because in life, you may say something and then somebody tells you you're a liar
Mm-hmm.
or you're paranoid or we're going to accuse you of what we're doing.
That's right.
That's exactly what this is all about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And Jay says it wouldn't surprise me if Hunter is still using. Somebody was using in the White House. Somebody was using cocaine.
It was
very near him.
his.
Yeah.
It wasn't Cammy's. It wasn't Biden's. It was his.
Yeah.
It was his.
Of course it was. Although Cammie sometimes acts like it. The family is so dysfunctional, as Bindi saying, and Hunter is not Jill's son. I applaud her as a mother to support Hunter. But that being said, she was screwing around on Hunter's dad, and now she has. I mean, the whole thing is just a nightmare. I mean, it really is. I mean, think about it. I mean, it's just there. I would like somebody to come up to me and say something good about the Biden family.
And let's just remember that there is alleged video, and I've seen some of it with younger girls.
Yes, I've seen some
on
of it.
this laptop video.
Mm-hmm.
It has been put out there.
Yes.
And
I've seen the pictures too.
Check out a site called Epstein's Sheet on X. It'll make you sick to your stomach. It's literally, it was posted 17 hours ago of who he is. And this guy, and then the president, and this is why I attached the two, not just Hunter, but then Joe Biden was allowing him to make calls, and even with him while he's making calls to foreign leaders. Remember, Democrats will try to paint you into a corner. Oh, who cares? Hunter. It's the association with the president and Hunter, which is where there's a problem. Glenn says the FBI knows who put the coke there. Of course they do. Countless years of no consequence.
That's right.
And go figure. It's when you talk about quote white privilege, it's the first liberal family.
Yes.
The first family, the liberal family who is doing all of that.
Yeah, they call it Biden privilege.
It's not the Trumps.
Nope. They don't have any privilege. I mean, they work their asses off for what they have, and they have the opposite of white privilege. But the Bidens, they are so privileged. All of them are. Well, except for maybe the poor daughter that he showered with. I don't know that she's got much privilege.
No, Ashley. No, they've disbanded her because she spoke truth, and obviously her diary was verified. And,
that's right.
And anybody that says it wasn't is either lying to you, they're crazy, or they're being paid by somebody to spread lies.
Correct. You're absolutely
right. That's pretty much what it is.
And like Roland saying, they are slick, letting the limitations run out while make it seem like the system works and is fair. And that's a really good point, is because some of the things that we would really like to see Hunter having consequences for, they let the statutes of limitations run out, and they were slick. That's a great word, Roland. They were slick about it. So he cannot be tried for those things. And we all want him to, but there is a statute of limitations, and all the things we want to know the truth about, we will never know other than we can deep dive and find these things. But as far as in a court system or have anyone ever say that he's guilty of those things, it is not going to happen. And it's not just because Vic and I say it's not going to happen. The statutes of limitations ran out.
Words to describe them. It just slimy is another one that comes out.
Slimy.
Slick. They're crafty. Just all kinds of just nastiness all over the freaking place.
Very true. Very true.
Anyway, we're going to continue to follow that story. But he's not going to do jail time. And if he does, it'll be symbolic. It'll be a day
Yeah.
or 2 days
Mhm.
just so that they can try to go after Trump. This is all about
That's
going
exactly
after Trump.
right.
It is Trump, 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 Trump. They can't get over it.
That's right.
Yes, he is a gross man, Megan. I believe you. All big boy decisions. It just is who he is. And his wife needs a hair trim, just saying.
The wife needs a hair trim. She's really spicy. You talk about slick and slimy. She's also spicy. So I'm sure if you would sit down with his wife, she's got a vocabulary like none other.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Yep. This is, and Paul's saying this is one family that think all of their elites and their children and their debauchery that is going on that we don't even know about. I mean, and that's so true. They have so much stuff going on, but they're allowed to do it because they really do think they're on a different plane than us. They're elite. They were born special, they think, and everyone else around them, we're just little peons that we just need to go away and we need to be quiet. And that's what they created in the Democrat Party. That's who they all are. And even some very good Republicans that have gone up there to try to fight the good fight, even by Republicans, are called Rhino and the Uniparty.
Mhm.
I don't know that all these people that we call the Uniparty and that they're part of the establishment really are. They just literally are shut down and threatened and have no say. And so eventually they become quiet because they can't fight it alone. So we have to be careful, some of the Republicans that we say are bad. There's a lot of things happening to them behind the scenes that they can't talk about.
No, they really can't. The other thing that's interesting too is in the midst of all this going on, Joe Biden yesterday, once again, if he's out speaking, he's out making a fool of himself.
Yeah, he is.
This guy, I mean, I want to laugh, I want to cry, because all he does is lie.
Yeah.
He loses. Yeah, and Trish says the Bidens are nothing but trash. They really are. The first family of trash.
That's right.
Everything about them is slimy, trash, gross, disgusting, just
ultimate white trash.
And by the way, yeah, we saw the Juneteenth nonsense. We put it all out there.
Yeah, we talked about it a lot. What was it,
bad.
Yesterday? Yeah.
But then yesterday he went out and did stuff again, lying again. This stuff is insane. Joe's got it ready to go. And I just want you to, I'm going to break this down for you, first of all, with all of the lies that he had. The thing that is crazy, and I'm trying to pull it back up here really, really quick. You see, Joe, and if you could repeat all of the lies, Joe, because you have that in front of you, I think, on the video. Do you have the script that I was showing you about all of his freaking lies? Okay, we're going to play it for you. He has 4, and I'll break it down for you as we go. But Joe Biden comes on and starts talking. He lies. He says he was a professor at the University of Pennsylvania. He wasn't. And then we'll break down the other things. This is Joe Biden losing his freaking mind again. He's got dementia. His cognitive abilities aren't there. And if you're a liar and you were always a liar, you're just going to continue to lie, and it's actually going to show worse. Here's Joe Biden lying about.
Are so damn important. We need you. We need you to overcome the unrelenting opposition of the gun lobby, gun manufacturers, so many politicians when they oppose common sense gun legislation. I used to be when I was no longer the vice president, I became a professor at the University of Pennsylvania. Before that, I taught a constitutional law class, and so I taught the Second Amendment. There's never been a time that says you can own anything you want. You couldn't own a cannon during the Civil War. No, I'm serious. Think about it. How many of you heard this phrase? The blood of liberty. Wash your dough. Give me a break. No, I mean it. Seriously. And by the way, if they want to think to take on government if we get out of line, which they're talking again about, well, guess what? They need F-15s. They don't need. They're so damn important.
Yeah. There's so much to break down there. First of all, he was not a professor at the University of Pennsylvania. Then he said that you couldn't own a cannon. What? Hell yeah, you could. What?
Yeah.
What the frick is he talking about? Then he at the end of this, and there's a lot to break through. I'm just going over the top of it. He said they'll need F-15s.
Mm-hmm.
They'll need
Come on.
and guess what? He currently is trying to take away F-15s and F-16s from the military, from the National Guard.
Mm-hmm.
Think about this. Look it up. I promise you, it's happening. Okay, Joe Biden. That's Joe Biden.
That is
The national media did not show any of this.
No.
They just didn't.
because they knew it was
But
lies,
Trump is
lies,
a dictator,
lies.
right, Glenn.
Mhm.
But Trump is a dictator.
That's right. They made Trump be a
Who owned
dictator.
cannons? What? It was options. What?
Yeah. Yeah. And like Tracy said, we need closed captions with him 100% of the time because you can't understand what he's saying. And that's sad when this is the president of the United States. We need captions. We don't understand what he's saying. The mainstream media, if he looks like a fool, is not going to play it. And they also know that he just lies. And if it is fact checked, then they've got to come back out and say, okay, if they want any credibility, and most of them don't even want any credibility. But I mean, think about this. This just shows, and everything that he's saying, you can back up that he was lying in all of it. All of it.
He was a professor at UPenn. Guess what? It never happened. It was a lie.
Yeah.
It was a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Never, ever happened.
Yeah. Could you imagine the captions? Could you imagine?
If Donald Trump lied, as I always say, flip the script
Mm-hmm.
about something, you'd still be hearing it. It would
Yeah.
be everywhere. Once again, be careful about what kind of media you put in. It's all right to take a look at them to see the kind of lies that are being put
Mhm.
out. But just
Yeah.
remember, also, as Kimberly says, he did mention F-15s early in his presidency.
He sure did.
He said, if you come after him, you better bring F-15s.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
That's right.
He said that as well. Joe Biden is losing his freaking mind and he's getting angry. He literally threatened Americans that he can use F-15s on him in that quote.
Yeah. That's right.
Okay, this is a big deal again. And this is right after his son just was found guilty on gun charges, lying.
Yes. I mean, it's like father, it's like the song Cats in the Cradle. It's like literally like father, like son. His son, I mean, if any one of us, even if we know, okay, say if our son was addicted to whatever, you have a heart, your heart would be in your throat. You wouldn't even be able to talk when your child is found guilty and you know they're an addict. He just gets right up. That's what I was thinking when I saw him yesterday. You can get up there, partly because he has dementia or whatever he has, and partly because he's a man with an evil, dark soul that has lied his whole life, saying he's the head of the graduating class and lies. And he can even do that with a straight face after your kid just was found guilty. I don't understand how you can function unless you have your whole life acted like that. I mean, think about it. Anybody on the chat line, we would all have empathy for our kid. Now, our kids wouldn't be like that, but just say you had a kid, just one out of your many kids that had a real big problem. You still have a heart for your child. I get that. But see, I don't think Joe Biden has a heart for his child. He just will lie about anything. I mean, that's the part that shows you that there is not a normal human psyche out of this man that you can get up and go do that.
Well, our chat line, and I'm great that there's people are recognizing the fact that he's talking about those F-15s.
That's
again.
right.
He threatened to use F-15s
He sure
before
did.
against civilians, and he's
Mhm.
continuing to talk about it. Continuing.
Yes.
Jay
Yeah.
says Atlanta bus hijacker kills a hostage, but it's too many guns, not the 19 prior arrests that the guy had.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
They blame the gun, not the person.
All I have to say is let him use F-15 against U.S. citizens. Just let him.
Mhm.
Oh.
Won't go well for them. I don't
Cindy
No,
says,
no, no.
why aren't people calling him out where he is on the spot with the lies?
Yeah. Why
I
don't
mean,
they?
a lot of times you're caught off guard. You're like, what? You have to
Yeah.
go check.
That's
It's
right.
like, and it's like anytime you're in an audience with Joe Biden,
That's right.
you have to have something ready to go fact check
That's
something
right.
because he's going to lie. He's going
Mhm.
to lose his place. He's going to stumble, bumble, fall, cuss, get angry, see people up in the balconies trying to jump, as he said,
Mhm.
and he's going to lie. He's nothing but a liar. He's been a liar his entire
His
life.
entire life. That's right. And look at the people when he was
Mm.
speaking and he was lying, either they really don't know and they just are part of the plan, or what kind of dumbass are you that you're laughing at his jokes that are
I'm
full
glad.
of lies?
I'm glad that you brought that up. You noticed it and you saw that.
Yeah, it was
Isn't
like
that insane?
it's like, what kind of dumbassery is that you're laughing and you think he's great? I would love to look at that audience and realize you're either paid off or you're just kind of a fool. I would love to have seen the audience. But see, that's the thing. They don't show the audience because some of it, I want to guess that some of it is a laugh track, but you still know there's maybe a row or two of that. And they laugh and they clap like he's just the most brilliant thing they've ever seen. And you know, they know. If it's the closest people around him, you know, they know that he poops his pants, that he sees things that aren't even there, that Jill has to usher him out, you know, when they're in France. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And if you sat down with somebody that knows what's going on and they're still clapping and laughing, they're not bright or they're paid off.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
You also, the other thing about Joe Biden, when he's talking about F-15s and all of this military might and power and money,
Mm-hmm.
keep in mind, he has just canceled a possible pay increase for our junior military members.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And it's far less than the money that he has given and been giving to Ukraine.
That's right. Let that sink in.
Let me repeat this for you. Joe Biden and his administration has just recently denied a funding increase for our junior military members who don't get paid a lot, who are protecting this country.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about America. It should be America first, which is what Donald Trump is talking about. Instead, he cancels it and is sending that money to Ukraine. And this at the same time, when Zelensky has put his chief political opponent in jail, has canceled the elections because it's a war, continues to spend, and he and his wife at a very high rate,
Mm-hmm.
diamonds and watches and mansions in the midst of a horrible war. Yet Joe Biden refuses to help our junior military members.
That's terrible. And that tells you then where his love is. It has nothing to do with this country. He doesn't. I mean, if you love this country, you have to put the people that protect us at a high priority. Instead, he puts some other country. And we all know that he is getting paid. They're getting a lot of kickbacks. The money's getting funneled back here. And it's like, we don't see that. They think we don't see that. Maybe the average American person doesn't see that. But even if we do, what can we do about it? That's the thing I ask myself all the time. What can we do about this? And at least what we can do about it is call it out and make sure we get the appropriate people elected to try to fight this. But keep in mind, unless you bring in a whole bunch of them at the same time, one or two people that go up there can't do that much because they are shouted down. They're called part of the uniparty. So, I mean, we have to pray big and vote people in large amounts.
I get so damn frustrated with all this stuff that I see going on.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. Jeannie's right.
Our military members, our police, with zero respect, they're the people that keep us safe.
That's right.
Safe in our communities and safe from the world.
Mm-hmm.
Trish says, I say it many times a day, Lizzie, Joe Biden is a huge disgrace to our country.
That's right.
He is nothing but a traitor.
That's a great word.
He's broken our military so bad. And it's not just him. It's Obama. It's Jake Sullivan. Don't forget. He's the figurehead, the face of all of the dismay of everything that's going on. And it's why things aren't getting any better.
That's right. Very close.
There is a
Jake
plan
Sullivan.
in place. You wouldn't continue to do so many things wrong if there wasn't a plan in place. I understand mistakes can happen, but the plan in place exists. It's there.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry says, Biden also cut the program for seniors disabled funding to help pay for Wi-Fi to give to Israel and Ukraine.
Isn't that unreal? That is so unreal. You know, along with our first responders, we should take care of the elderly that have paid into the society for a long time. But nope, they take that money and send it overseas again. It's tragic, really. I mean, it's actually really tragic.
Treasonous traitor coming from the chat line as well when it comes to everything that is going on with Joe Biden and his administration.
Mm-hmm.
And if that wasn't enough, that Joe Biden and many, even Republican leaders in Congress, support Ukraine so heavily, despite the fact that we can't pay for increases in salaries for our junior members who get paid very, very low. And we continue to send all this money to Ukraine for a war they won't win. Then you have a situation that's now out there Couple of people who are very, very, I mean, if we had a bigger audience, and we're getting there, maybe we might have been on this list. Oh, thank you, Pro Joe. You rock. Getting me a water. Because you could already hear, Ukraine, there's an agency in Ukraine that has now put Americans on a watch list
Yes.
for going against Ukraine funding.
Don't you love that list? I mean, no, I'm good. Thank you. And you know why they do that? They want you to be quiet. They want you to shut up. So much of what's going on is they want to silence people.
Well, this happened to Biddy Johnson and Laura Loomer. They both have podcasts. Love them.
That's right.
They're great.
They're both great.
Laura says, quote, I just received this letter from U.S. Congressman Jim Banks notifying me that my name appears on a list of individuals in the U.S. impeding aid to Ukraine. What the truck is going on? This list was published by a Ukrainian NGO called the Data Journalism Agency. They're putting people's for Ukraine for impeding aid. This is happening.
Yeah. And it's like, I would really like to we can speculate, we can find proof, but I'd like to be in a room when they're all discussing who they're putting on this list and what they're really, really hiding. We think we know, but there's way more that we don't even know. Why Ukraine? We know why, but I mean, think about that. They want us to be quiet. Like, I know I've been somebody that has made fun of people that has a BLM sign and a Ukraine flag. And I'm like, can you not be more dumb if you've got both of those in there? BLM, they played you, people. I understand wanting to care about your fellow man. I truly do. I truly do. And I do think Black Lives Matter. But the organization in and of itself played you. That lady, whatever her name is, Patrice or whatever, she has multiple mansions in a very expensive place in LA. And then you've got Ukraine. You said this earlier, Vic, that Zelensky and his wife, they have plush everything, but yet then they want to bother Benny Johnson and Laura Loomer. Come on.
Well, and they're two heavy hitters when it comes to
they are
getting
very
attention
heavy hitters.
and
That's
media.
right.
Two of the best. They do great work. They have great
sure
staff,
do.
just quality people, quality information. And of course, that's what we do here. We're going to get the truth out no matter what we need to do. We're not worried about feelings. We're worried about facts. That's what we do here Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, and all the time on our website, cancelthisshow.com. These are the kind of stories that you don't hear on mainstream media. You don't see it on local news media. Hell, you don't even see it a lot sometimes on Fox. You got to get it out there. And that's why the podcast platforms, the networks that have been popping up and creating information are so attacked, but continue to put out the information that you need to tell stories. Facts, not feelings. Facts, not feelings. These are the things. Who would have ever thought that you'd be contacted by Congress saying your name's been put on a list of impeding aid to Ukraine?
Unreal.
Because you're bringing facts out? It's a different time. It's 2024. You're not a conspiracy theorist for thinking, okay, these are the things that are happening. It's going on. And if you're courageous enough to stick your neck out there to try to get information out there, this is the kind of stuff that can happen.
That's right. You have to be prepared for that if you're going to bring out the truth. But I do think we are better off in 2024 than we were in the election of 2016 when we just speculated that they were censoring us. And then we absolutely knew, and they knew that we knew in 2020. And now there's been alternative ways to get information out. So we are better off today, though, because we finally know what they've been doing. And and there's platforms like Elon Musk that has opened it up and take it away from being censored and being canceled to being wide open. Our show is wide open on X and is seen by thousands and thousands of people on a daily basis.
And we're not going to stop. We're going to continue to do everything that we possibly can. This whole Biden administration, Ukrainian situation, supporting Ukraine, but not supporting our own military. I mean, mainstream media is not going to cover it, which is we tell you to like, subscribe, share our show, send our show out. Voters need to see this. If voters actually knew, I think it'd be 80, 90% against Biden.
I agree.
About what he is doing.
If people could hear the real truth. and not the truth only. We're going to only go up to this so far, and we're going to piss off an advertiser. We're going to piss off a corporate place. So we can't tell you the truth that's up here. So that's why I'm glad of these new platforms that can get it all out.
Well, the other thing about what's happening is also this. That it's frustrating because you literally have a president in the United States right now, Joe Biden, who is weaponizing. He is weaponizing everything that we see right now. He is using the Ukraine situation to weaponize. And that's exactly what Benny Johnson said as well. I mean, he tweeted this out. He said the same thing. I'll just say what he said, what Laura Loomer's post. Benny says, I've just received a letter, this letter, and they show the letter from Chairman Jim Banks notifying me that I've been placed on a U.S.-funded, keep in mind, U.S.-funded Ukrainian watch list for daring to suggest that our boys in uniform should not be sent to fight for other nations overseas. So there's a little bit of a twist on it now. Laura impeding financial help for Ukraine, Benny being put in this situation. He goes on to say that Joe Biden is actively weaponizing American tax dollars against civilians to silence opposition to his backwards agenda.
That's right.
And he finishes by saying, if you dare speak against his anti-Americanism, the current regime will coordinate with foreign nationals
Yes.
to place you on a watch list. He says this is flat out evil.
Flat out evil. It really is. To take your own tax dollars to then come back and use it against you, that's unheard of. And this is what America's doing. There's other countries. Now, when people used to say to me a couple years ago, America is not the greatest country anymore, I fought them on that. I'd be like, oh, I am so USA, USA, I love America. And I still am that way. But my eyes are wide open now. We are being weaponized by our own DOJ and our own money that we put, we work really hard. Our money comes out of our bank accounts to pay taxes to hurt ourselves. What in the hell is going on? That is terrible. And so when people say to me now, our country is not the greatest country in the world, they're right. It's not. It's sad. And without Trump getting back in, we're in serious trouble. Serious trouble. So we have to do everything that we can to get the word out, to still pull some of the people that think different than us and try to talk to them, reach across the aisle, even though people, when they say, Lizzie, you can't reach across the aisle, we've got to get those people on our side. We have to. Because that's the only way we change this place. Unless you want to go to work every day and have a third of what you get paid to go give it to Ukraine. I don't want to do that. Do you want to do that, Vic?
No. And it frustrates me when we see all of those things that are happening. And we're going to continue to do that. And that's why we're grateful that we can do what we do here. You're not going to find a better auto place to go find to get your car fixed. Complete auto body throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. 5 locations. Anything goes wrong with your car from A to Z, they take care of it. They have multiple jobs. I think 40, 50 openings. They're huge. And they're big for a reason because they have lots of business and they continue to do things the right way. Curtis and his crew take care of multiple issues. They're looking for multiple people for a variety of jobs working at a terrific company. You can contact CompleteAB.com, but tell them you're with Cancel This, or you appreciate them sponsoring advertising with Cancel This. They'll continue to advertise with us. And we appreciate their support when it comes to helping out throughout the St. Louis area. You can also give them a call. The phone number is 314-731-7999. Once again, that's 314-731-7999. Also, special thanks to the St. Louis Injury Council, David Gregory and his crew. If you've been in a car accident of any kind, involved with a car, involved with trucking, workers' comp, any PI case, personal injury, give Dave a call, 314-619-4230. If you mention Cancel This, he will eliminate a lot of the fees. He's already going to get you more money. How do I know? Well, I used him twice. Give him a call, 314-619-4230. Before you decide with anybody, give him a call first. At least it's not going to hurt you to give him a call, and he'll explain to you. He's licensed in 7 states, including Missouri. And by the way, he's a former state rep. He's written some of the rules when it comes to what you can get back, and he knows the rules when it comes to if you've been hurt or in a car accident of any kind. GregoryForMissouri.com, GregoryForMissouri.com. Also, WeQuipUSA.com. It's a really cool website where you go, wherever you are in your area, you can rent items from people. You can also put your own items up to rent and make some money on the side. WeQuipUSA.com. They also rent rooms. They promote all kinds of interesting ideas and concepts, and they continue to grow. New website coming as well. And of course, our good friends at Winty's, they make it possible. We go there a lot. Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley. The original Food Shack Saloon. We're talking about some of the best pizza, burgers, wings, smoked meat you're going to find, sandwiches. I literally say it all the time. Talk to 7 or 8 people. They'll have 7 or 8 favorites that they have at the place. Terrific service. They're there for you. Huge patio, entertainment on the weekends. And then one was so good, they got so big, they built a second one. And it's now in Defiance, Missouri, out in wine country, Winty's Roadhouse. Brand new, packed all the time. Doesn't mean you can't get your table. When we say packed, it's huge. They have lots of space, lots of service, taking care of everything they need to do. Mitch Gibbs says, good job, Projo, with all of the stuff that you're doing there. We appreciate getting all the ads up and,
Thanks, man.
of course, making us look and sound as good as we possibly can. We are cancelthisshow.com, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, all the time on our website, cancelthisshow.com. We appreciate our partners page as well. You can find it at cancelthisshow.com. And if you know of any other advertisers or sponsors, let us know. People that would be great for us to hook up with, we would certainly do that. Yes, we do love Projo. I'm Vic Faust. Lizzie Sparks is here as well. And we continue to bring you news headlines, politics, water cooler talk, political interviews from all over the country, cancel culture stories, and of course, our free-for-all Fridays, which have become pretty much every day where we try to pick and predict things that are happening in the future. Okay. I really wanted to get into the Donald Trump stuff. Tucker Carlson, we know, obviously huge, now a friend, wasn't always that way.
No, I don't think Tucker liked him as much as he does now. He loves
but he
him
got
now.
to know him,
Yep.
just like the fighter last week said. You get to know Donald Trump, you talk to him, then you'll know why so many people like and respect him. This video is the chill video of Tucker Carlson, what he put together and voiced for Donald Trump. And Donald Trump and the RNC need to play this anywhere and everywhere they possibly can. Hell, maybe we should play it every day. We should have it on a loop.
We should.
When you think about what's going on, why we are in the situation we are in this country. It is 2024. And you only have to have half a brain, trust me, I know, to realize what's happening in this country. The attack, the takeover that's in place, and we have to find a way to stand up against it. Here is this incredible video that I think will move you.
Millions of Americans sincerely love Donald Trump. They love him in spite of everything they've heard. They love him often in spite of himself. They love Donald Trump because no one else loves them. The country they built, the country their ancestors fought for over hundreds of years, has left them to die in their unfashionable little towns, mocked and despised by the sneering half-wits with finance degrees but no actual skills who seem to run everything all of a sudden. Whatever Donald Trump's faults, he is better than the rest of the people in charge. At least he doesn't hate them for their weakness. Donald Trump, in other words, is and has always been a living indictment of the people who run this country. That was true 4 years ago when Trump came out of nowhere to win the presidency, and it's every bit as true right now. Trump rose because they failed. It's as simple as that. If the people in charge had done a halfway decent job with the country they inherited, if they'd cared about anything other than themselves, even for just a moment, Donald Trump would still be hosting Celebrity Apprentice. But they didn't. Instead, they were incompetent and narcissistic and cruel and relentlessly dishonest. They wrecked what they didn't build. They lied about it. They hurt anyone who told the truth about what they were doing. That's true. We watched. America is still a great country, the best in the world, but our ruling class is disgusting. A vote for Trump is a vote against them. That's what's going on in this country.
And it's so eloquent, so well written, so spot on, so truthful, so inspiring, so chill factor. And it exactly is what we're dealing with in 2024. And it makes so much sense. Donald Trump is who he is for a reason. He has become so popular for a reason, because it's everything that Tucker Carlson just put out there.
Yeah, that was hard.
The ruling class is hateful. They show it that way. I'm not saying every single person domineering.
Yes.
You do what we say or else. You follow what we tell you to follow or else. But then there's a man who was willing to stand in front of it.
That's right.
A man who didn't have to, a man who could go do whatever he wanted to try to stand up for America. And then that video,
that was a wonderful video. It gave me chills because it wasn't just an ad that was put up by Donald Trump's campaign, although I like those ads too. If you know the whole story, Tucker was not, I can't say he was a never Trumper, but he was definitely not somebody that was really wholeheartedly behind Trump. And like you said, Vic, then he got to know him. He sees the love of of our country. He loves individual people. He loves people that are even immigrants that are here legally. He wants our country to grow. He wants our country to prosper. And that was just beautiful because it was a great depiction of why so many of us love him. Either they love him newly because they were told to hate him before, or there's people like myself from the day he went down the elevator was completely, I mean, just captivated by this man because he loves this country so much. And he's a businessman. That's what we need. We need a businessman, not just another politician running this country. And it still is applicable today. And I think he just keeps getting better. I think he had some blunders.
By the day.
By the day. Yeah, he had some blunders.
By the day.
But who wouldn't when you have that many people against you? He underestimated the hateful evilness by the Uniparty. He underestimated it. I really think he went in there and he's got a lot of charm and people tended to like him and he thought he could woo them over and he didn't. But now he knows he can't because they're not normal.
Donna says he wants MAGA to be his legacy.
Yes, he does. That is already, God forbid something happened to him tomorrow. That is still his legacy.
Jenny says, he is truly a fascinating person.
He absolutely is. He's fascinating.
And then if you say that, oh, you're just caught up in your Trump love.
No, actually,
we're
not.
caught up in our country. And we see a man who loves the country as much as we do.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, you can tell what party you're voting for if you simply have an American flag flying high.
Yes.
In your yard, 99.9% of the time, it is a conservative.
It is. It is. I have a flag so huge. I have a flagpole the size that you could put in front of an elementary school, and I have the biggest flag you've ever seen. So when people drive up, they're like, that's Lizzie's house, because I love this country so much. And everybody should. And
that's what that video is about. That should be playing over and over on loop everywhere possible.
Everywhere.
Just for Americans to see.
Mm-hmm.
To see what's going on, to see where we are, to see who we are.
That's right. Yeah. If you go to someone's house and you see that there's American flags in their yard, especially coming up on the 4th of July, and I always look at a house with my head kind of cocked, especially on Independence Day. You can't even put one little stick American flag in your front yard for all the people that were unalived so we could be free.
Yeah,
come on.
That's a great point.
Come on,
it really is.
Lizzie. I mean, really, come on. Go and get yourself. You may not even have a lot of money. Go get yourself from a local store. You can even go to a Dollar Tree and buy a $1 little flag. Stick it in your yard. So don't be any one of us. Don't not do that. I mean, let's show our American pride this year more than you ever have. And it's funny because my kids were laughing at me. I have a lot of Christmas decorations, but I have so much Americana stuff because I really do love this country. So I would love to see every conservative put a flag in their yard on Independence Day, because not even every conservative does that because they're afraid to. They're afraid their neighbor's going to steal their flag, or they're afraid that somebody's going to hurt their feelings. Stop it, you guys. Stop it. We have to show American pride first. Put your flags up, people. Put it up. And like Terry says, she puts up 13 for Memorial Day.
Oh, wow. I love that.
Yep. That's wonderful. And that's great. A lot of people do that. I still have some of my neighbors that do that. I have one neighbor that already still has 13 in her yard. So we need to show our American pride more than we ever have coming up. So go get your flags, people. Go get them.
Yeah, there's a guy named Dr. Alan Lichtman. Fox News put a report out today. He's predicted 9 of the last 10 winners when it came to the election. There are, I think there's 12 factors, 10 or 12 factors. I'm going back to look at it right now. If you read through the lines of it, he's predicting Trump to win.
That is great.
But one of the factors isn't illegal voting. He says it's too early to tell if Trump's guilty verdict will affect 2024, but all of the issues he brings up are serious warning signs for Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you think? And he also says the worst thing the Democrats could do was bring out a new candidate.
Right.
He still thinks the feeble can't find his way off the stage, falling down, lying on a daily basis, mumbo jumbo words is still better than bringing another candidate in.
I do too. I agree with him. And the reason
There are actually 13 true false questions. The keys are.
the keys are.
Yeah.
I agree with him on that point because there isn't anybody good that they could bring up to. And if they change at the last minute, and they may, a lot of people like yourself, Vic, think that, but it also shows a weakness in the party that, and it also reveals how bad Joe Biden has gotten and validates all the reasons we thought he was bad. So if they change somebody in the last minute, unless it's some really animated, great person, and I don't know who that would be, I don't think it's a good choice for them either.
Well, of course not. No, hell no, hell no, hell no, hell no, hell no. I just find it interesting, and I find it just so entertaining to see what people are saying, what they're thinking. And this is somebody who has, obviously dealt with this and made a lot of predictions. Anyone know who makes the best quality flags, American made, and where to get them? Anybody have any idea? If you do, feel free to use our chat line. Of course, you can comment on multiple sites. We're on Facebook, we're on X, we're on YouTube, we're on CloudHub and Rumble as well. Check it out. Check it out. Let us know if people have them. Tell us what you got. Landon says, I have an 8-foot Patriot flag covering the side of my barn and a 4x8 American flag on my 30-foot pole, but upside down right now. And I've heard about that.
Yeah, a lot of people have their flags upside down. A lot of people. And it's very understandable. I don't have mine upside down, but
A shout out to Allegiance Flag Company right
okay.
now as well.
All right. That's good to know. Anybody else have a flag company that they know it's American made? Because, it's really ironic when you go buy your American flag and
Please
it says
tell
made
me.
in China.
Please tell me. Oh my God. No.
There are people that do that.
No,
because
no,
you don't know.
That just can't be happening.
That cannot be happening. You've got to buy your American flag.
By the way, another polling too, when it comes to election, Minnesota, now within striking distance for Donald Trump, latest numbers as well. CNN polling, down the middle polling, within within the margin right now, like 3 to 5%.
Wow.
In hardcore blue Minnesota. This is happening in a lot of these states. Once again, previously hardcore blue states, not so much anymore. Not so much at all. And not only has Donald Trump stood the test of time with all the attacks that have been coming after him, but he's also now talking about finances. He's talking about, I love this from True Social. He put this out, Lizzie, where he is all in on Bitcoin. And if anybody know, I know it's a subject that some people don't know a lot about. And we've had a guest here before, Vance Crowe, talking about Bitcoin. But listen to what Donald Trump put out on Truth Social when it comes to Bitcoin and finances. First of all, it's, vote for Trump, exclamation point.
Of course.
I love that. He says Bitcoin mining may be our last line of defense against the central bank. Biden's hatred of Bitcoin only helps China, Russia, and the radical communist left. We want all the remaining Bitcoin to be made in the USA. It will help us be energy dominant. This is fascinating. It is direct, and it makes so much sense.
Yes.
Why would Biden be so damn against it
That's
his
right.
administration and Trump be so for it? Who are you going to trust when it comes to business?
Yes.
You're going to trust Donald Trump.
Of course you are.
And now here's, he had failing businesses. No, this is different.
No.
This is our economy, and I think it's pretty clear as day as well.
That's right. And I'm excited that he said that, because when Bitcoin was really kind of first thing, so many conservatives, including myself, was real leery of that, thinking, okay, is this part of the central banking system, when in fact it is not. So I'm glad that he came out and made that clear, because at the beginning too, a lot of people lost a lot of money on Bitcoin, but now there's a way to handle it. There's a way to do it. And it is a line of defense against the brick companies. So, and I'm calling them companies for a reason, because yes, we want to call them countries, but they're really run as corporations that are against America. And like Kevin is saying, they can't control Bitcoin currency. They can't control it. And that's the problem. And like Donna's saying, I don't understand Bitcoin. It takes a minute. It takes a minute to understand it. It does.
The other part of this is Donald Trump understands it and he gets money. We know that the current administration does not. And Donald Trump dominates Joe Biden when it comes to economy issues in polling, in every polling. people feel that much more confident with Donald Trump. And don't think for a
Mhm.
sec, we already know you go to a grocery store, there's inflation everywhere. There is. The
There is.
economy is fake. There's, oh, stock market. No, it's a fake. And we had the expert last week predicting a huge crash coming as well
Mhm.
because of what has finally happened.
That's right.
This is interesting. And it's, I trust Donald Trump when it comes to the economy. And if you know, and I've studied a little Bitcoin, it makes sense.
Yeah,
It
does make
makes total
sense.
sense. You already know here's what's going to happen. You've got a central bank and they're trying to control everything in the world. We're talking about a new world order situation where everybody is on the same situation
Mhm.
and it is totally controlled.
That's right. Totally controlled. And that's frightening when you think about that. So we have to find alternative ways to fight back on these people.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's thank you, Donald Trump, for putting that information out there. We're
Yes.
going to continue to show what happens. One other thing that really came out, this was a big story. It just came out in California. And I don't know quite what to make of this. I sent it to Joe, and Joe, you're even like, holy crap, this is a big deal. And of course, it's the state of California, but they're getting closer. I believe it's $800 million in funding for reparations. Where is the governor? Where's Newsom in all of this crap that's going on? We're going to play some of this for you just so you can hear what's actually, this is being talked about in California right now. I know it's the wacky Wild West and it's a liberal safe haven like New York, but just listen to what is being talked about in California.
Economists, consultants from the task force reported the total amount could be as much as $800 billion.
$1 billion.
$800 billion. That's 2.5 times the size of our entire state budget. To pay for that, you'd need a major tax hike, unlike anything this state has ever seen before. I recognize and acknowledge the painful part of our history. The pains of our past should not be paid by the people of today. The majority of our state is Latino and Asian, making up 55% of our population. Most of them, like me, are first, second, or third generation immigrants who had nothing to do with slavery, discrimination, Jim Crow laws, nothing. It is fundamentally unfair to force these people to pay for this, and because of that, I will be opposing today. Economists, consultants from the task force report.
Okay.
Wow.
It would cost $800
Wow.
billion
That's crazy.
in California right now to put this through. Hello. What the hell? I know it's California, but still, all this money being thrown around like it's nothing, like it's litter. Cash. $800 billion, Lizzie. And we've got bills to be paid. We've got everything. It's gonna snap. People.
Yeah, that's right.
Things are going to snap. And we're not even talking about all the healthcare costs for illegals that have totally strapped states, put them in situations they've never seen in the history of this country. Oh, yeah, that's right. Situations we've never seen because of all the illegals that are here, probably 14 million at least.
At least. That's just what they know of. You know, there's more. I mean, and when you're combined with reparations and paying for illegals, think about that. No one here today in America is responsible for anything that happened with our ancestors with slavery. I don't see many people going around thinking we need to have slavery again or have anything to do with that. So we're going to be paying for something that we didn't even do.
No.
Same thing with the illegals.
No, exactly.
Most people don't have a problem with immigration at all. They have a problem with illegal immigration because if you're a legal immigrant, you're paying your taxes and you have a job, or you're finding some way to pay for things that it's not on the government's dime. You're here illegal. We're having to pay for you too. I mean, this country cannot handle all of this. We just can't handle it. And the taxpayers, look at all your friends. All of us can think of at least probably 5 friends that somebody's lost their job since Biden's been in. People can't afford things. Our car insurance has gone way up. Our house insurance has gone way up. People's lives. I don't personally know anyone that has said since Joe Biden has been in office that they're better off for that. I don't know anyone. And so maybe I'm just in a group of people that is in a different socioeconomic class than the elites, but I don't know anyone. And now you add reparations on top of that. Then you add all these illegals in here. They're burying us. They're burying the middle class is what they're doing. Burying us.
Paula says, let's fight the slavery that continues throughout the world now then, if it's so important.
That's right.
Glenn says, should we be compensated if our ancestors died fighting for free slaves?
There you go.
Yeah. How about that?
Yeah, I like that comment. That's the comment
This
of the day.
makes sense. This is what the administration wants to do. They want to break the country apart.
Yes.
Bindi says, I know from census and other information that my ancestors owned slaves. And guess what? It was legal at the time. It was not illegal. It was legal.
It was legal.
And you have to be, as we've talked about so many times, African Americans owned slaves as well.
They did. And
Let's
people seem to forget that, Vic. They did. And from what I understand, it was more prevalent at the beginning that blacks had slaves than white people did. But we're going to select the kind of history that we want. And Paul's saying, unfortunately, we're going through, what Europe went through over the last 10 years, and they're finally self-correcting. So you figure it's going to take us 10 to 15 years to get this corrected after we all figure it out.
Glenn says factual stats, over 30% of slave owners were African Americans. I repeat that, over 30% of slave owners were African Americans. I'd heard that stat before and I cannot remember where it was. I wish I could verify.
I've heard that stat too.
Unfortunately, we're going through a situation right now where there is a deep state, as Donald Trump has talked about. Even Bill Maher talks about it. Mr. Liberal, who does not like Donald Trump, talks about the deep state. They want to destroy this country. They want to divide us. And this is what it's about. We've already seen, and I'm sorry, you can't both be a liberal Democrat and not support George Soros. You guys are on the same team, or his son, Alex. And if you want to think, and if that's what you want to support, where their money goes, all they do is divide. They're not talking about unifying. It's all about dividing, fighting, anger, Antifa, problems here, problems there. This is an issue. And it also did come up. Great job, Robert. Kamala Harris's ancestors have been alleged to have owned slaves as well.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Divide and conquer, divide and conquer, divide and conquer. We're not going to sit back and just be quiet about it. We're going to continue to bring things forward. Make sure that everybody understands what's truth and what isn't truth.
Yeah.
To the best of our ability. Facts first, then we'll get to your feelings. Facts first, then we go to the feelings.
Well, and it's just when you think about all that they're wanting to add on to us, and the comment that was made that we saw what happened in Europe, and we literally thought it was not going to happen over here. And now
what is that?
Well, just with dealing with all of letting the illegals come in here and destroy our country and make your country a completely different race that doesn't even like you. And I'm not trying to make this about color of your skin, but you let a lot of people in here say that they're Middle Eastern, and they come here and they don't even like you. And then they start destroying your country. And then we're like, oops, we maybe should have vetted them better. What's wrong with vetting people?
Yeah, we haven't talked about the danger situation. Remember, we were told around October by FBI Director Chris Wray, keep your head on a swivel.
That's right.
A lot of people have come into this country and they could be, quote, lone wolf attacks or coordinated efforts from the Middle East or from other places around the world. Oh,
That's
gee,
right.
Thanks, FBI Director Chris Wray. We
thanks for letting us
appreciate
know.
because we had an open border. Case in point, now you have a situation. We'll use him only because this is what's going on. Just not that, I'm sorry, he is not a bastion of news. Lester Holt is not a bastion of news, but
no, he's not.
Lizzie sent it in, and we'll show you just what the story is. But you're talking about 8 Tajikistan nationals with ties to ISIS who were in this country illegally. Fortunately, 8 of them were busted by ICE. Yeah, believe it or not, if ICE is allowed to do their job, they can do it. And if 8 are here, how many others are here?
That's right.
So this is a little bit about what's actually going on right now.
Back home now to the terror arrests across the country. We've learned several men with suspected ties to ISIS living in the U.S. have been taken into custody. Julia Ainsley is with us with more. Julia, what happened?
Lester, the 8 suspects are men from Tajikistan who were all arrested by ICE over the weekend in Philadelphia, Los Angeles, and New York. Sources familiar with the matter tell us the men crossed the southern border, some over a year ago, and that border agents found no evidence of terror ties at the time. A recent FBI probe then uncovered the 8 men may have ties to ISIS, similar to a case we first reported here at NBC News last month. That one involved an Uzbek migrant in Baltimore with suspected ISIS ties. Tonight, the FBI and DHS say the suspects are now in ICE custody and warned that the U.S. is in a heightened threat environment for terrorism. Lester?
Julia.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
And Landon's saying that he can't even believe they would air that, this being NBC. And that's why I wanted this clip, because almost everybody is playing this now. NBC, ABC, CNN, Fox, Newsmax, OAN. So this is what was interesting to me, because normally NBC and Lester Holt is so far left, and they are. I'm not saying that they're not, but everyone's airing the same thing, even the most conservative stations and even the most liberal stations. So my point to that is why are they also airing that along with someone that's ultra right conservative, except for the fact that somebody's wanting to call out the truth that absolutely there's terrorists in here. Even Lester Holt saying it. But why? Why do you think, Vic? Or why does our listeners think, why is everyone playing it? That's the question I want to know, because normally the news isn't the same at all.
Well, eventually you got to get ratings somehow. Or
I guess
I mean, sometimes things are so in your face, you have to cover a story.
Right.
And but don't think for a second that mainstream media is changing. They're not.
Mm-hmm.
And they won't change until there's an election, or they'll change right at the last second to try to draw you in to get you to vote for their candidate. Then they'll change.
Right.
Which is why, Donald Trump called Joe Biden's executive order on the border bullshit, because guess what? It's not even being enforced, what he said he was going to do from an executive order standpoint. It's only for show. It's for show, for the election, to vote. Those are the only things that are happening, which is very, very interesting. By the way, just came out too, we cover, breaking news and things that are happening. Nancy Mace just won South Carolina's first congressional district primary over Kevin McCarthy-backed challenger. And I thought she was going to win because she was absolutely fascinating on George Stephanopoulos when he was basically not respecting the fact she was a rape victim. And I knew and she handled herself in an incredible way and sticking up for Donald Trump and going,
people's show that there's an internet connection problem. But if you just stay with us, Joe figures it out.
Corrected.
Yeah, Joe can correct it. And this was not, it was not an internal thing on our show where one of us hit the wrong button, although that happens. That does happen, that I might hit a wrong button. This time was just an internet issue, it looks like.
You've knocked us off before by yourself?
No, but
Oh,
I
okay.
pressed a button that knocked the comments off.
Oh.
Yeah, I've done that.
Oh, okay. We got it.
And we back. Joe's got us back. There you go.
And hey, by the way, we have people in Oakland County, Michigan that wanted us to get some support for one of their candidates. We're more than willing to do that. And we have viewers obviously all over the country, but we'll continue. Yeah, we're back. So there you go. And it looks like we didn't lose anything.
No. And if you just keep your cool about yourself, Joe can figure it out. It's usually this one was just an internet connection for a brief second. And that happens. And you don't have to leave. We just lose sound for a second.
I don't think it had anything to do with the ICE members being found all over the country.
No, I think it really was
sad and sick and
our
everything
internet
else,
started to buffer. And we have so many platforms. But, getting to your point, Vic, what you were just talking about, somebody in Michigan contacted the show. You guys can contact the show too. You can literally go on our Facebook page or any one of and DM the Facebook. But the best place to go is to actually go to our website, canceltheshow.com. And you can go straight through there and put in your information and we can look it over and see if it's something that our listeners would like. I mean, it's almost everybody's welcome, but occasionally we say no if it's literally our listeners is not going to want to hear that today. But feel free to see if you want to be on the show.
Yeah. There we go. So we're back. All right, guys, we're back. And no matter what platform you're watching,
they're all back up.
We are back.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
They just wanted us to change the subject.
Yeah, they did. But we have another one too. Don't think for a second, if anybody ever tells you that people aren't trying to, let's just say, influence elections or cheat. Yeah. For Democrat, I said Democrat, Connecticut politicians have now been kicked out and are subject to all kinds of things for cheating. There's video of them stuffing ballot boxes with mail-in ballots. Look at the video. This stuff is sickening. We'll go ahead and play it when Projo gets it up and then explain everything that happened. You see the video. They're Lizzie, look, they're putting votes in at 5:42 in the morning.
Of course,
multiple illegal absentee ballots being stuffed in there by that woman.
Yes.
And she was one of four. I repeat, four people who were doing this. If you don't think that people will still try to cheat, they will, which is why you have to do whatever you can. This was in Bridgeport, Connecticut. They've been charged and arrested for the mail-in ballot fraud committed in the city's primary election. Not only this, but those people now, you're talking about the city councilman, Alfredo Castillo, the vice chair of Bridgeport's Democratic Party, Wanda Getter-Pataki. They were charged with election tampering. Then you had two campaign workers, Nilsa Heredia and Josephine Edmonds. They were charged with election fraud and unlawful possession of another person's ballot. Yeah.
Wow.
The election was in November of 2023, but it takes time to fully investigate and charge.
Correct. And you know what? It wasn't lost on me, the names that you were saying that's even hard to pronounce. I would love to know, are they even American citizens doing that? Because that's my fear with all the illegals coming in.
And you already see that this is happening. So
we know it's happening.
It's very concerning.
It's very concerning. And they were still doing it. And that is what concerns me, even with the illegals over here. We're often seen as bad people or people that are chumps, that they can take what we have because they're owed it, or they think we're infidels and so on and so on and so on. And then here they are. I don't know who these people are, so I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but there is obviously cheating there.
Oh, yeah, there's cheating.
Yeah, and I'm glad they got caught, but is anything going to happen to them?
Oh, yeah, they'll face it now.
Good. I'm glad. And like Robert says, our elections are a joke. So we have to make them not a joke I'm not saying for anyone to cheat. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is the day of the election, you should have already voted. you should take part in the early voting and then find the candidate that you know loves Donald Trump and is a good conservative that also knows how to legislate. That's the key. They can be a good conservative and they can really love this country and love Donald Trump, but they don't know how to legislate and all they do is talk, talk, talk. That doesn't get you anywhere. You have to find good legislators.
But as Landon said, they were just mailing Christmas cards, Lizzie. That's the only thing that was
so I
happening.
misunderstood. They just,
Yeah.
I'm sorry then, you people, that if that's all you were doing, then I was mistaking.
And from the chat line, Tracy says, once again, as you say all the time, Vic, can you imagine if this was for Donald Trump?
Right?
Once again,
Oh my gosh.
can you imagine if this was Trump? Lord have mercy.
That's right.
We would never hear the end of it, which is why we bring fact and truth to the table, unlike other people do.
They would put fences around our voting booths.
Well, Robert believes that Democrats are already voting for the 2028 election.
I don't think
and they
he's
might
wrong.
be.
Yeah.
Which is why the RNC has to come in and step in with as much as they possibly can, that is, and know how to stop it.
That's right.
Somehow, some way. We'll see where it goes. The fact is that we show facts. We're not talking about opinions. If we say something, we're backing it with fact. We're showing what's going on. It's just sad to see that this stuff has, and there are better videos than this from the 2020 election.
That's right.
And it's happened all over America, and it continues to happen.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder how some local leaders get elected in, let's say, St. Louis County. It certainly makes you wonder. Terry says, I just feel weird about voting early. Only in the Army did I do that.
Yeah.
I enjoy going and casting and showing off my little sticker.
I do the little sticker too, but I always work that day doing something. And so I do vote early. I probably now the last 4 years voted early because I want to sit out with a candidate sign, or I want to be there. And I know what you're saying, because Terry, the first time I did that too, I thought it was kind of like, ooh, I'm not supposed to be doing this. But you have to, if you're going to work for a candidate or something, you have to vote earlier. Otherwise you have to leave in the middle of it.
Well, the woman that we see, Wanda, is a habitual ballot harvester.
She sure is.
And Fox News did a story on her, Jesse Walters, and she just continued to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Didn't go to prison.
Yeah.
Now she's doing everything she possibly can to cheat and steal elections. Robert reminds us elections are run by the individual states.
That's
a
right.
lot
That's
of
right.
issues to fix.
That's right. And you have to just make sure, you have to hold your election authority accountable and hope that they're doing a great job. And how you can hold them accountable is not by going and yelling and screaming at some meeting. That doesn't really have the impact I think we all thought it did. You have to just make sure you vote in the election authority that's going to do a good job. That's what you got to do. So it's sad we're even talking about this. This is the United States of America. And we have now for several years been talking about how they screwed us out of someone we all voted for. So, I mean, it's sad we even have to bring that up.
No, it is. Carlene reminds everybody we need valid verification receipt too after we vote.
Absolutely agree.
It would be
that.
easy. But once again, as Roland likes to joke about, one of our African American listeners says, oh yeah, but us African Americans, we don't know how to get a valid ID card. Can you tell us how? Speaking tongue in cheek, of course, because Democrats make African Americans look stupid or sound stupid, as if they can't go and get their own ID card, as if it's racist.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
That's right.
It's not.
That's right. Well, and a lot of people are disagreeing with me on the chat line, and that's totally cool, that they disagree that I should vote earlier, that they should vote early. And I don't disagree with you guys either. But if it's already happening and the Democrats are already doing it, you have to fight fire with fire. Is the only thing I'm saying, is why I voted early, so that I could dedicate the entire time to what's going on. But I do think there is something very patriotic about voting on voting day. And I wish it would go back to that. I wish it would go back, unless you're the military, that you have to vote on the day of the election.
Eric reminds everybody, if it comes to find out that they did do this during the 2020 election, does she at all be arrested? No questions asked. Sit down for Guantanamo Bay and put them in jail for treason, election interference. Yeah, I like the idea, but it won't happen.
That's right.
It just won't. As Carlene says, I agree. It's a one-day holiday, voting.
Yeah.
Everyone but military and overseas.
Yeah.
Can mail in. That's it.
Yeah. I wish it was like that. I truly do.
It's not going to happen. And then and here's the other thing. If it did happen, the voting system would need a complete overhaul.
That's right.
It's going to cost a ton of money,
Mhm.
and you're going to have everybody. There would be more people. There's no doubt there'd be more people. I think that's great,
Yes.
but it would overwhelm voting booths. Somehow, some way, the system would have to be revamped.
Yeah.
There would be problems. It would last into the next day. You wouldn't get you just wouldn't.
Yeah.
You would not find out the winner on the same day. It wouldn't happen. It just would not
Yeah.
happen. CIA, according to the chat line, used to do this in other countries with elections and economic hitmen to destabilize the country. Same game now being played in America.
Oh, Robert
Can't-
is so on
Can't
it.
disagree.
Yeah, I can't disagree with him at all. I can't.
Makes 100%.
That's
true.
right. And Doreen's saying that she thinks a lot of people believe that early voters like Republicans, that their votes get trashed before the election is why they don't want to vote early.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean that could happen too, especially in an area like if you're voting in a relatively red area, your Republican vote is probably not going to get trashed. But if you are in a real liberal city like Chicago and you vote early, maybe it does disappear. And that's, again, sad that we even have to talk about that we absolutely do not trust any of this. We don't trust the voting process. We don't trust the people that are out to get us. And we know absolutely they don't put America first. And it's tragic because, when I grew up and was watching the TV and saw that, the cute little cartoons that you would see on about voting and all of that and what's a bill and what's the Constitution, you just thought it was the neatest thing in the world to vote. You just thought it was so cool to vote.
Yeah.
And now our kids are going, hey, Mom, I don't even know that I want to vote because they just cheat and take it away anyway. I mean, so the times have changed.
Well, that's the
so
other
radically.
Well, that's the other messaging, to make you not care about your country.
That's right.
As we have talked about, not
Mhm.
care about the flag, not care about nationalism, not
Yes.
care about candidates a la Donald Trump who do care about the country.
That's right.
Just to think that everything is going to be fine because this
Mhm.
is what I was born into.
That's right.
Everything is going to be good because this is all I've ever known. I've never
Mhm.
known poverty to an extent where it may go. I've never known not being able to walk down the street and do whatever the hell I want to do. I've never known a feeling of thinking that this world is about me, the me disease, because that's what commercials and TV and
Mhm.
radio and ads and internet tell me. My opinion matters more than anybody else. My feelings, my desires are
Yes.
more important than anything else. Me. I'm not going to worry about my creator. It's all about me, my feelings.
Yeah, that's right.
What makes me happy?
Mhm. It's all about me. And you don't see the community as much anymore get out and work amongst each other because there's been so much infighting. People just don't even trust their neighbors anymore. And that in it itself is tragic. And people are telling me the cartoon I was talking about is Schoolhouse Rock.
Schoolhouse Rock. Yeah,
Yeah.
I knew that. I should have said it, but yeah,
Yeah.
I knew exactly what you were referring to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, I did too, but people might not
With the
know what I was
rhymes and
talking
everything
about.
else
Yeah, I loved it. I
to
loved
try
it.
to learn.
That's right. And think about the difference in Schoolhouse Rock was I think created in truth for kids. Now, gosh, I've got a 2-year-old granddaughter that when I'm trying to find her something to watch, there's hardly nothing to watch unless you pull up old things, because anything current these days, even something like Sesame Street that my dad back in the 60s and 70s says was propaganda even back then, you just can't watch any of it. You have to be very careful what your little one watches.
Yeah, but Schoolhouse Rock, not to be confused with an incredible movie called School of Rock.
That's right.
Jack Black.
That's right. Two different things.
Which I loved. We don't get good movies like that anymore.
No, we don't. We should.
Whatever happened to Jack Black?
He's been really quiet,
That'd
hasn't
be
he?
a question for Joe.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it?
Joe,
I think I've seen him. He's around. He's
Is
still, yeah, he's just doing stuff with musicians and stuff.
Okay.
I don't think he's getting political or anything. So
yeah, I haven't heard that he's
making
gotten
waves.
political.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's smart. That's very smart if you are an entertainer of any part. I mean, I know you could use your platform, and I don't blame you that you do, but if you want to make the maximum amount of listeners, you probably should just be quiet about how you vote. If you're, yeah. So
I'm just a bill sitting on Capitol Hill.
yes, yes.
I don't know if we
Mhm.
should play it or not. I've got it queued up.
Do ya?
I don't know if we'll get copywritten strike.
Don't play it for any more than 10. Don't go to the 11th
Well,
second.
No,
How
it's-
long-
It's
how
3
long is
minutes
it?
long. So
What is it?
But who is it from?
Schoolhouse Rock. I'm just a.
Oh, you could play that.
I think we could.
Yeah.
I think that would be it.
yeah,
But
play
we'll
it.
take people back.
Play it. I want to hear it.
Just see how different things are now.
That's right.
sure got to climb a lot of steps to get to this Capitol building here in Washington. Well, I wonder who that sad little scrap of paper is.
I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's a long, long journey to the capital city. It's a long, long wait while I'm sitting in committee. But I know I'll be a law someday. At least I hope and pray that I will. But today I am still just a bill.
Gee, Bill, you certainly have a lot of patience and courage.
Well, I got this far. When I started, I wasn't even a bill. I was just an idea. Some folks back home decided they wanted a law passed, so they called their local congressman, and he said, "You're right, there ought to be a law." Then he sat down and wrote me out and introduced me to Congress, and I became a bill. And I'll remain a bill until they decide to make me a law. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I got as far as Capitol Hill. Well, now I'm stuck in committee, and I'll sit here and wait while a few key congressmen discuss and debate whether they should let me be a law. I hope and pray that they will. But today I am still just a bill.
Listen to those congressmen arguing.
Yeah, they do so now too. We can get out of it, Joe.
Yes.
That takes me back to my childhood of seeing how things actually occurred. Now the bills are just pushed in with no arguing.
That's right. That's right. A lot of them are. There's still a lot of arguing there. But this was great. This was actually something. I remember my dad was like, you need to stop watching the Sesame Street stuff. And this is what you need to listen to. And so growing up, I was able to grow up to understand the difference between a bill and before it became a law. Our kids now, you have to really
People who grew up in the 80s got to see that.
That's right. That's exactly right.
That's why. You're born in the 80s, you grew up in the 80s. That's what happened.
The 80s were the best. 70s weren't too bad either, but the 80s, early 90s, it started to just change. Everything started to change. I mean, they had some good music in the early 90s, but dang it.
Is there any real good stuff on TV like this anymore? No, there's not.
There isn't.
No. FYI, Robert from the chat line says, I wrote a Michigan law called the Michigan Tool Builders Lien Law. Helps Michigan manufacturers bypass the UCC forms customers refuse to sign. Wow.
Well, that is interesting. That's good job, Robert.
Yeah, late 70s. I still have my 85 Cutlass Supreme. Okay.
Oh, good.
One bill, one topic, not multiple topics within one bill. How about that?
Yes.
Another great. Now, oh no, we want to help out Israel, but we have to stuff Ukrainian aid in there. Oh yeah, we're going to stuff that in there. Oh yeah, we're going to stuff these bills with all kinds of things now.
Yeah, for sure.
Megan says she remembers her mom and dad saying that they weren't going to turn on the TV because they were afraid Geraldine Ferraro would be talking.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. That is so fun. It is when you look back at what your parents didn't want to turn the TV on because who they didn't want to listen to.
Yeah.
That is so funny. My dad back in the day, and he died in 89. So I would love to know what he thinks now because he would not like me watching junk. He was like, you need to be watching the news, Elizabeth. You need to be watching. And now
you need to stay away from the news.
Right? Right? I mean, he was,
as best as possible.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah. So I would like to hear somebody that hasn't been around since the news has gotten so corrupt and see what they would say now. I think they'd be shocked. Shocked. Yeah. Well, I so appreciate you, Joe, for finding that because a lot of the listeners really, that took them back. That was great.
When you mentioned it the first time, I was like, oh yeah. And then I kept playing it over and over in my head and I looked it up.
That was great. That was some good stuff. It was a great way for your kids to learn.
Hey, Joe, besides Caitlin Clark, was there other things that I left on the table?
There's actually quite a bit. Just random things though. Well, there's stuff from yesterday too. So we got somebody who got beat up by activists.
Yeah, I'm gonna save that. I want to share the Caitlin Clark stuff.
Okay.
Because in life we say, hey, you just have to be persistent. We talk about this.
That's right.
Let me remind you of what's happened with Caitlin Clark, super basketball player from Iowa, right to the WNBA. A lot of people jealous of her. And unfortunately, it almost seemed like it was a black-white thing, which we don't need more divisiveness.
No, we don't. We absolutely don't.
And a thing where it's a gay thing versus straight thing.
Don't need
You have
that
Caitlin
problem
Clark, who is white, comes from a strong family. She has a boyfriend.
Yeah, they're so cute. Have you seen them together?
Yeah. She
So
was
cute.
by far the best college basketball player in the country this year, maybe ever, maybe best women's player ever.
Mhm.
She proved it with her totals and her stats. She's gone to the NBA. She's had multiple hard fouls, violations, flagrant fouls against her. The WNBA has not done much about it. Last week, she was literally ran at, basically like tackled. The WNBA, after the fact that media got so bad, only gave that person a flagrant foul, no suspension, no fine. This upset some women that I know, including Megan as well. She's like, did they ever take care of that? I was like, no. Then they left her off the U.S. Olympic basketball team, which, she gets some rest. She's handled it all beautifully. She's never complained. This is the point of the story. Well, this is what happens. If you can endure sometimes in life, there can be that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. This from a game the other day. Caitlin Clark gets fouled hard by this black woman in the orange suit. Caitlin Clark is in the white jersey. She's the white player. She gets fouled, and clearly she was fouled, knocked back. Then the player starts making fun of her. Just watch the video. So she gets hit when she was dribbling. That is a foul. Then she starts like, here it is again. Boom. She's running, hits her. You can't do that. Then she starts mocking Caitlin Clark on the court. Well, this is the opposing team's fan.
Wow.
Cheering for Caitlin Clark after she got her fourth foul later in the game. They wanted her back on the court.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the fans also, after that moron, that woman is an absolute moron. She is a DEI product, no doubt about it. Fouls her. Then she wants special privilege. She fouled her. If anybody knows half a thing about basketball, they know that's a foul.
Yeah.
She's got her hands in the air and hits her with her body. Okay. So guess what happened? The fans started booing that player for making fun of Caitlin Clark after her own fans started booing her.
That is
Thank
awesome.
you, fans.
Yes.
Because all Caitlin Clark has done is be a hero, and I just somebody to look up to for young girls, white, black, Hispanic, Chinese, whatever. And somehow she has endured, and she hasn't given in. Jeannie says that woman looks like she was having.
She did. I couldn't tell if she was doing some sort of a dance.
The
when
jealousy,
I first saw that.
the jealousy, the hatred towards this white basketball player,
straight white basketball player,
who hasn't talked a lick about politics.
None.
Who's only gone out to try to play basketball, and be treated in this manner, which is terrible. And it needs to be said something for it.
Whatever happened to unsportsmanlike conduct?
Yeah, because that's very unsportsmanlike conduct.
No, that should have been a foul, and they called the foul, and they should have given her a technical for mocking the person as well. The woman embarrassed herself. Just remember, nobody knew about the WNBA really, and I'm sorry.
No, I didn't ever watch it.
They didn't know about the WNBA. What Caitlin Clark has done for the WNBA this year, and the amount of people who are going to games and watching because she's playing is out of this world. It is over the top. If Caitlin Clark wasn't in the WNBA anymore, nobody'd be watching these games like they are now. It wouldn't even be close. It would not even be close. And it's just sad to see some of those things that are happening.
Well, she embarrassed herself, number one. She looked absolutely trashy by acting like that. And I'm very impressed by Caitlin that she isn't saying anything back, because that's what they want. They want her to get into a fight, and she's just being a class act.
She won't do it.
And I'm glad she won't. And you know what I thought was interesting too, is it was brought to my attention the other day. We were talking about all the stuff with Caitlin Clark in my house. And several people told me that they should be thanking her, not only for the money that's coming into the game, but just even how they get to games, because a lot of the players typically would go on a bus, but now there's enough money that some of the teams are even now being able to take planes. They've made things a lot easier.
Oh yeah, they had to fly commercial, but now they can fly privately because of Caitlin.
That's
Clark.
right. Mm-hmm.
So anyway, it's just, the moral of the story is, just be persistent, but be polite. Be persistent, but be polite.
That's
Easier
right.
said than done. People are going to come after you, especially if you're trying to talk about issues that are important to you to help this country.
That's
And
right. Mm-hmm.
it's just sad to see some of those things, but it gives me hope. I was like, damn, how she could be so damn strong
Yes.
because she's only human
Mm-hmm. That's right.
and she won't give in.
I love it.
And the other thing about this is, what if it was a predominantly white league doing this to a black player?
Oh, well, you know what would happen.
I always
yeah,
say I'm not about divisiveness, so let's flip the script
that's right.
so that we all understand what's happening when it comes to race.
Mhm.
Yes, there are people who want to divide us. Yes, ESPN wants to divide us, and they're very ultra liberal when it comes to what they push on you.
Mhm.
Yet they still are not backing Caitlin Clark. So we appreciate it. Pam says, great show. Keep up the great work in bringing forth and exposing bad politics. That's what we try to do here every day, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, and all the time on our website, cancelthisshow.com. Sometimes we go past 10 o'clock if we're involved and got a lot of those things going, but we do appreciate you guys. We're about facts first, feeling second. Facts first, feeling second, because without truth, you can't have anything. And this country is in a very, very bad situation right now. As we look ahead to what's happening. I would love to play as we go out today, Joe. Can we play the Tucker sound on Donald Trump again before we get
Yes.
out today? Is there any way to find that, or did we delete that already?
Yeah, he's got it.
He's got it too. So I would love, and Kevin says, yeah, they messed up by not putting her on the Olympic team.
I agree.
Yeah, they could. They're going to win with or without her. Okay,
They are.
Mhm. They've won since 1992. They're going to win. They're good. I understand the Olympic Committee's decision to say, well, we already have a good team. But if you have half a brain, once again, if you put her on the team, the ratings and everything else, it's going to happen on top of it. That's not their job to worry about ratings, but it should have been in the back of their minds.
That's right.
Right?
I would think so.
It should have been. We just wanted to play Tucker Carlson on Donald Trump before we close out the show today, because this is the best way to end. We appreciate you. Fastest 2 hours in podcasting. Cancelthisshow.com. Please like, subscribe, share the show. We're on Facebook. We're on X. We're on CloudHub, YouTube, and Rumble. Plus, in about 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes or so, we are on Google, Spotify, Amazon, your usual audio listening platforms as well. If you have ideas for sponsors, advertisers, let us know. Vic at cancelthisshow.com, Lizzie at cancelthisshow.com. And if you have ideas for stories, just let us know. Anything else?
No, I think you covered it. Great.
What a day. What a show.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think going out with Tucker and Trump is very appropriate.
You got it. All right, guys. For Pro Joe and Lizzie Sparks, I'm Vic Faust. Check this out from Tucker Carlson with Donald Trump.
Millions of Americans sincerely love Donald Trump. They love him in spite of everything they've heard. They love him often in spite of himself. They love Donald Trump because no one else loves them. The country they built, the country their ancestors fought for over hundreds of years, has left them to die in their unfashionable little towns, mocked and despised by the sneering half-wits with finance degrees but no actual skills who seem to run everything all of a sudden. Whatever Donald Trump's faults, he is better than the rest of the people in charge. At least he doesn't hate them for their weakness. Donald Trump, in other words, is and has always been a living indictment of the people who run this country. That was true 4 years ago when Trump came out of nowhere to win the presidency, and it's every bit as true right now. Trump rose because they failed. It's as simple as that. If the people in charge had done a halfway decent job with the country they inherited, if they'd cared about anything other than themselves, even for just a moment, Donald Trump would still be hosting Celebrity Apprentice. But they didn't. Instead, they were incompetent and narcissistic and cruel and relentlessly dishonest. They wrecked what they didn't build. They lied about it. They hurt anyone who told the truth about what they were doing. That's true. We watched. America is still a great country, the best in the world, but our ruling class is disgusting. A vote for Trump is a vote against them. That's what's going on in this country.